The enemy you fear the most is not outside you. It's not the world, not the obstacles, not the people around you. The enemy you fear the most is the one wearing your face. You think life breaks you. You think circumstances break you. You think failure breaks you. But the truth is much colder. You break yourself long before anything else does. The world only pushes. You are the one who bends. You are the one who hesitates. You are the one who retreats into comfort when the pressure rises. The self is the first battlefield, the place where weakness negotiates, where fear whispers, where excuses gather like smoke and suffocate discipline before it has a chance to breathe. Every time you delay, it's not the world stopping you. It's you. Every time you collapse, it's not the struggle. It's your avoidance of it. Every time you fall short, it's not fate. It's the story you repeat inside your own skull. Most men will live their entire lives blaming something external for an internal defeat. Blaming difficulty, blaming timing, blaming stress, blaming bad luck, never realizing the sharpest blade against them is the one they hold themselves. Your identity shapes your downfall more than your environment ever will. Because the self you refuse to confront will always sabotage the man you are trying to become. Quietly, patiently, consistently. The self is dangerous because the self knows you. It knows your fears, your weak points, your insecurities. It knows exactly how to talk you out of greatness. It knows how to sound reasonable, how to sound comforting, how to sound safe. It whispers, "You deserve rest. You've done enough. Today isn't the day." Soft voices, but they pull you into the slow death of comfort. Your enemy is not loud. Your enemy is quiet. Quiet enough to slip into your decisions without being noticed. Quiet enough to disguise fear as logic and weakness as self-care. The self becomes the enemy the moment you stop questioning it. The moment you accept every thought as truth. The moment you allow emotion to replace identity. This is where most men fall, not in battle, but in self-conversation. But here is the good news. The enemy inside you is not unbeatable. It can be disciplined. It can be reshaped. It can be commanded. But only if you stop pretending it isn't there. In Chapter 2, you'll see how the inner enemy forms and why ignoring it is the most dangerous mistake a man can make. The enemy inside you did not appear overnight. It was built, piece by piece, choice by choice, comfort by comfort. The inner enemy is born every time you avoid the difficult thing. Every time you choose ease over effort. Every time you silence discipline and listen to emotion instead. It grows in the quiet moments, not in crisis, not in chaos, but in the tiny decisions you think don't matter. The 5 minutes of delay. The task you skip. The promise you break when no one is watching. The inner enemy takes shape from repetition. It studies you. It learns you. It memorizes your fears and molds itself around them like a second skin. It knows when you hesitate. It knows what triggers you. It knows what excuses work best. And over time, it becomes so familiar that you no longer recognize it isn't you. It's the shadow you created. Weakness doesn't scream. It whispers. And those whispers become beliefs. I can start tomorrow. I don't feel ready. This is too much. Repeat them long enough and they become your identity. The enemy moves in quietly and wears your face. Your inner enemy is built from your unchallenged habits. The late mornings, the unfinished work, the half-efforts, the emotional impulses. Not dramatic failures, but daily concessions. Small surrenders that rot you from the inside out. Resistance grows strongest when you fear change. Because change requires death. The death of your old patterns, your old limitations, your old softness, and part of you will always fight to stay the same. The inner enemy protects the version of you that wants comfort. That version is ancient, primitive, hardwired to avoid pain even if that pain is the only thing that can save you. Your shadow self is not evil. It is untrained. It follows instinct, not identity. It follows emotion, not purpose. It follows comfort, not direction. The self becomes the enemy the moment you stop leading it. When you let impulses decide. When you let fear make the choices. When you allow your mind to run on autopilot instead of discipline. And the longer you avoid confronting this inner enemy, the stronger it becomes. Not because it is powerful, but because it feeds on silence, avoidance, and your refusal to claim responsibility for your own life. Chapter 3 will reveal how this inner enemy blocks your progress in ways you never notice. Subtle, silent sabotage that destroys men from the inside. The inner enemy doesn't attack you directly. It doesn't shout. It doesn't warn you. It whispers, waits, and sabotages you in the quiet moments when you think nothing is happening. It sabotages you through hesitation, a tiny pause, a small delay, a thought like, "I'll start in a minute," but that minute becomes the graveyard of your discipline. It sabotages you through comfort, not overwhelming comfort, just enough softness to weaken the spine and make you forget you ever wanted more. It sabotages you through doubt. A single question, what if I can't? That question grows roots. It wraps around your actions. It suffocates your will before you even move. It sabotages you through emotion. It tells you to wait until you feel ready, until you feel strong, until you feel motivated. But feelings are storms, unreliable, irrational, inconsistent. It sabotages you through excuses that sound logical. I'm tired. This isn't the right time. I need to recover. Excuses dressed like wisdom but built entirely from fear. It sabotages you through attention. It pulls your mind into distractions, traps, habits that drain you. Scroll once, and it is already won. Distraction is the enemy's first victory. It sabotages you through stories. Stories you repeat so many times you believe them. I'm not good at mornings. I've always been this way. This is who I am. Lies told so quietly you mistake them for truth. It sabotages you through identity loops. You repeat an action, then call it you. You delay once, then delay again, until delay becomes character. Weakness becomes familiar, and familiarity becomes prison. It sabotages you through protection. Yes, protection. Your inner enemy thinks it is saving you from discomfort, from difficulty, from the stretch required to grow. It shields you from the very things that would make you stronger. It sabotages you through invisibility. You don't notice it. You don't feel it. You don't see the damage until the day you wake up and realize you've been stuck for months, years, or entire chapters of your life. The inner enemy is subtle, but not unstoppable. Once you see its patterns, you can destroy them. Once you expose its tactics, you take back control. Awareness is the first cut. In Chapter 4, you'll learn how to break these patterns with the discipline, structure, and psychological force that the inner enemy cannot withstand. If you want to defeat the enemy inside you, you cannot rely on emotion. You cannot rely on motivation. You need a structure, a system, a method stronger than your impulses. There are 3 phases, 3 internal disciplines that dismantle the inner enemy from the inside out. The first phase is awareness. You cannot fight what you cannot see. You must learn to catch the enemy in real time, in that exact moment when hesitation appears, when excuses surface, when comfort reaches for you. Awareness is the blade that cuts through illusion. You pause, you observe, you name the pattern. This is avoidance. This is fear. This is the old self. Awareness exposes the trap before you step into it. The second phase is interruption. The inner enemy grows when you let the thought continue, so you must break the pattern with action. Sharp, immediate, non-negotiable action. Interruption sounds simple. Stand. Move. Breathe deeply. Step forward. Touch cold water. Strike the training post. Do anything that shocks the system and resets your mind. This phase weakens the enemy because the enemy thrives on passive thinking. Action destroys passivity. Movement cuts the loop. Force breaks hesitation. The third phase is replacement. You don't just stop the old pattern. You replace it with a stronger one, a disciplined one, a pattern that reflects the identity you want to embody. Replacement means choosing the opposite behavior of the enemy's command. When it says wait, you act. When it says avoid, you confront. When it says rest, you rise. You overwrite the old code with the new identity. Awareness reveals the enemy. Interruption wounds the enemy. Replacement destroys the enemy. This system is not emotional, it is mechanical. And mechanical systems do not fail when emotions collapse. Most men lose because they rely on feeling. Warriors win because they rely on structure. Structure is stable, structure is predictable, structure is stronger than fear, than doubt or hesitation. Use this system daily and the inner enemy weakens. Its voice gets softer, its grip gets weaker, its power dissolves under the weight of repetition. In Chapter 5, you'll see how this system works inside real moments. Moments where most men fall, and moments where discipline rises like a blade in the dark. To understand the inner enemy, you must see it in action. Not in theory, but in the everyday moments where most men collapse without even noticing. Look at the man who wakes early, but stays lying down telling himself he's thinking. He isn't thinking, he's negotiating. And every second he stays still, strength drains out of him like water leaking from a cracked jar. Look at the man who sits up but refuses to stand. He says, "I just need a moment." That moment is where the enemy grows. That moment is where discipline dies. Look at the man who reaches for his phone before he reaches for his purpose. He doesn't realize he has surrendered the battle before he has even begun. The glow of the screen becomes the leash that pulls him back into weakness. Look at the man who avoids the hard task and chooses the easy one to feel productive. Fake progress, fake movement, fake victory. The inner enemy celebrates when a man works hard on the wrong thing. Look at the man who tells himself he will change soon. Soon is a coffin where dreams are buried with full ceremony. Look at the man who feels fear and mistakes it for danger. Fear is not danger. Fear is the voice of the inner enemy trying to protect its throne. Look at the man who breaks his own promise and pretends it didn't matter. He doesn't know he just weakened his identity more than any failure could. Look at the man who explains his weakness instead of confronting it. Explanations are the inner enemy's armor. The more you justify, the stronger it becomes. Look at the man who waits for motivation. Motivation is air. You cannot build a life on something that disappears the moment the wind changes. But the inner enemy knows this, and uses it to keep him waiting forever. But also look at the man who rises anyway. The man who moves without waiting to feel ready. The man who acts even when every thought tells him not to. That man becomes dangerous, because he is no longer guided by emotion. And look at the man who repeats this victory daily, not dramatically, not loudly, but quietly, consistently, relentlessly. He builds a mind the enemy cannot enter, a mind protected by repetition forged in heat. In Chapter 6, you will learn the exact sequence, the practical, tactical steps to silence the inner enemy the moment it speaks and reclaim control over your entire day. You cannot defeat the inner enemy with hope, with wishes, or with positive thinking. You defeat it with method, a sequence of actions that cuts through hesitation the moment it appears. Here is the method. Simple, direct, powerful enough to break the enemy inside you before it speaks twice. Step 1. Catch the thought instantly. The moment you hear the whisper, "I can do it later," "I'm too tired," "It's not the right time," freeze the thought. Say silently, "This is the enemy." Naming the lie removes half its power. Step 2. Interrupt without negotiation. Stand, move, act immediately. No inner dialogue, no second thought. Movement is a blade. The enemy cannot survive when you cut the pattern quickly. Step 3. Use physical force to reset the mind. Cold water, deep breath, a fast strike into a training post, a single push against something heavy. Physical shock rewires mental chaos. Step 4. Command yourself with language. Short commands, sharp commands. I rise. I move. Now. Identity responds to the words you choose. Authority kills doubt. Step 5. Replace the old impulse with the disciplined action. If the enemy says stop, you go. If the enemy says wait, you start. If the enemy says delay, you finish. Opposition builds skill. Reversal builds identity. Step 6. Anchor the action with repetition. Do the same disciplined response every time the enemy appears. Not sometimes, not when you feel like it. Every time. Repetition is how warriors rewrite their minds. Step 7. Close the window. Do not return to the place where the hesitation began. Don't sit back down. Don't slow down. Don't revisit the moment. That window belongs to the old self. Leave it behind and don't look back. Step 8. Finish something. Even something small. A stretch. A step outside. A breath of cold air. Completion kills negotiation. The enemy cannot argue with momentum. Step 9. Shift your environment as you shift your mind. Light on. Space cleared. Tools positioned. When your surroundings change, your identity follows. Step 10. Remind yourself who is in command. Not through emotion, through action. One controlled motion proves more about who you are than 10 minutes of thinking. Follow this method daily and the inner enemy will collapse under the weight of your certainty. Not loudly, not suddenly, but slowly, silently, inevitably. The same way it once defeated you. There comes a moment after enough battles, after enough repetitions, after enough dawns survived, when the enemy inside you stops sounding like a master and starts sounding like a leftover echo. The voice that once controlled you becomes quieter, softer, less convincing. Not because it disappeared, but because you changed. Your discipline begins to speak louder than your fear. Your identity begins to stand taller than your excuses. Your will begins to move faster than your hesitation. You realize something powerful. The inner enemy was never stronger than you. You were simply letting it speak first. Now you interrupt it before it gets a full sentence. Now you challenge it before it forms a thought. Now you move before it has the chance to negotiate. The same mind that once betrayed you begins to protect you. It becomes sharper, colder, cleaner. It chooses discipline before comfort, because discipline has become the familiar path. You start waking differently, not into confusion, not into chaos, but into clarity, purpose, direction. The kind of morning that only belongs to warriors. The inner enemy still exists, but it no longer leads. It watches, it waits, it whispers from the shadows, hoping you will return to the softness it was born from. But you don't. You rise. You rise even when you are tired. You rise even when you doubt. You rise even when the weight feels heavy. Because rising is no longer a decision. It is identity. You begin to understand that every step forward, every moment of resistance broken, every act of discipline is a blade cutting away the man you refuse to be anymore. You don't conquer the inner enemy with a single victory. You conquer it with 1,000 small cuts, one choice at a time. And slowly, quietly, without celebration, you become someone different. Someone the old version of you could never stand beside. This is the silence only the disciplined understand. The silence that comes when you no longer fear yourself. The silence that begins when the inner enemy bows. And from this silence forward, you do not retreat, you do not negotiate, you do not fall back into the man you buried.